started, I finished, put me in the game. Put me in the game. Yeah, put me in the game. All that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. Hey, coach, put me in the game.
I'm downstairs. You mean? Girl, I told you I'd be ready. You always got excuses and you know I be on top of things. Punctual my proper name. On the dot is not your aim. Although we in love, we are not the same. I hit you on that celly. You said you...
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Tonight, we start Week 9 with a prime-time matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Philadelphia Eagles. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. They start the drive with Cook, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
51 to Mike, boy, 51. Bring it.
Back to throw. And it's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
Brad, I wonder if someone's down there checking on the head coach right now because he might be in a little bit of shock after what just transpired. Instead of a lengthy opening drive to deal with, his guy stepped up and stole that drive away. Momentum on their side now. How will they attack on offense?
Here we go, set. We're at 38.
And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Tua. He is going to find Hill here. And the Dolphins are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
That's a sharp throw right there on 3rd down. They're looking to get the first points of the game, and they certainly don't want it to be on a field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a 1st and goal.
First and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Yeah, absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal. Now Tua. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Well, Fletcher Cox, he's been doing this for a lot of years, and another sack to his ledger there.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will jump out to a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive stalls out, but the field goal does get them the first points of the night.
And 3 points, not to be underestimated. How about this, right? You're on the road, you're under the lights, national television audience. This is not a dress rehearsal, partner. This is for real, and a pretty nice opening statement.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
51 to mine. 51 to mine. All day, dog. Eat old blue. Okay, ready.
Back to throw here. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
And that's how you shake off the interception you throw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's across the 45. It'll be second down. The Eagles at 3-5, 2 games under 500. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 43. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 43. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 10 more there and another first down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
They run again on first down. Cook. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Cook makes the catch on the out route. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's second down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that? Touchdown, Eagles! Devontae Smith. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. And this is no good. He missed it. Not a good start here in the kicking department as this remains a 6-3 score. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CB, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock. That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Looking to pass. Tua. Flushed out right. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And out across midfield down to the 45.
What are you doing?
6-3 is our score after 1. It's the NFL on EA Sports. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's going to take this close to the first down marker as he stopped at the Eagles' 35.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Throw left side complete. That's Williams. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Tua going to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now a handoff running through the middle. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing. Because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. On 1st down, Tagovailoa. He's got it to Williams. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or 2. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On 2nd down, Williams. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turned it into a successful play.
About a half yard from the end zone, 3rd and goal. They'll run here on 3rd and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins have regained the lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will make this a 4-point game. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
2nd and 5. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover difference. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Sanders on for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now.
Next to score, Dolphins 24, Eagles 6. Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Thrown out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Black Ultra.
Looking to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. So his struggle is just continuing here in the first half, throwing the football. Charles, now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
After the turnover, it's Tua. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Tua now on 1st down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. A good productive run there on first down. He winds up getting 8.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. Escaping the pressure right. And this is going to be intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that third down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Let's go. 60 red. 60 red. Green jack.
Back to throw now on first down. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. He'll look to throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him, and with it, time will expire here in this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. If this defense wants to stay in this ball game, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's got... And now the rookie's free. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. With his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And they open the lead up now to 25.
Jason Sanders to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. At the line, this Philly offense set to go. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. He'll drop to throw. That's to his running back, Gainwell. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Cook running right. They'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field.
He'll look to throw. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. A lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the 3rd quarter. Now, they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard, because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 30. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Jalen Phillips, the former 1st-rounder, getting in there for the sack. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the 1st. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Jalen Phillips, 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
So on comes the Eagle kicker, Jake Elliott, on 4th down. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. The kick by Elliott is good. And they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes it's his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. They find some open field here. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 136 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Kyron Johnson there on the tackle. Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. On target over the middle to Hill. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 18. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. And they'll run on the inside handoff. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And the Dolphins are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Let's go now. 52 blue. I'm going back to you. I'm going back to you. Ready, go.
Ahmed will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1. Mike McDaniel, he's going to ask him to take a closer look at this call, and out comes the challenge flag. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. taking it in from a yard out. And the Dolphins are closing in on a third straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. Sanders now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. They'll set up a throw. This is Smith with the ground. And he is going to have an Eagles first down. They needed 5 there on third down. He winds up getting 7. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. But this game well in hand. Perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
This is caught, and he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll look to throw again. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Brandon Jones, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Dalvin Cook taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Eagles get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down now to 22. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 162 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Now, this looks like a roughing call. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Following the penalty, they'll go back to the run game. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
To a hit, and the ball is out. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. The kick by Sanders is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Smith. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Dolphins, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they'll get a few days to savor this one before they take on the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis,